Well, thank you so much for joining today. Let's go ahead and start our practice by coming into a comfortable seated position. You're welcome to take a seat in a chair. Your feet flat on the floor and your back up against the back of the seat. Or maybe you'd like to come onto the ground, coming into a crisscross applesauce, sending the legs long, or even bringing a bend into the knee and letting your arms rest on top of the knees. So there's lots of options. Feel free to add pillows, blankets, blocks, anything that will help make this just a little bit more comfortable for you as you settle in here. Maybe as you take this moment to find a comfortable position, begin to rest your hands softly. And if it feels right, allow your eyes to close or soften your gaze towards the floor. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out through the mouth. Begin to let yourself land fully here in this moment. Start to feel the weight of our body, either in the seat or the mat, as if the earth is saying, you can relax. I've got you. And take a few more slow, steady breaths. Begin to release any tension from your shoulders, from your jaw, and even from your abdomen. There is nothing to do and nowhere else to be. There's just this moment, only your breath. And allow yourself to become completely, fully present in this moment. As you feel the support of the ground underneath you, anchoring you to the earth. And with each breath, you let go of the worries of the day as we bring our attention inward. Today, our practice will gently explore how we meet scary emotions. Those moments when fear, anxiety, or even discomfort rises in us. Rather than pushing these emotions away or trying to fix them, we'll practice softening towards them. We'll begin to discover that even the most difficult emotions are just a passing visitor, something to notice, to honor, and then to allow to move through us. So as I invite you to gently explore this theme of taming our scary emotions, emotions like fear, anxiety, and anger can feel overwhelming at times. But know that these emotions, like clouds in the sky, are temporary and can be tamed with compassion and understanding. When we learn to sit with our emotions, we build a quiet strength inside. A strength that says, I can feel this way and still be okay. And we learn that it's possible to meet our fear with kindness. And we learn that it's possible to embrace those strong emotions with kindness. Begin to imagine your breath as a soothing wave washing over you, calming and steadying your mind. And with each gentle inhale, draw in the peace and the calm of that ocean wave. And with each exhale, releasing any tension or fear that you may be holding. We'll silently repeat to ourselves as we start our practice today. Breathing in fully, deeply. And as we breathe out, I am safe. Breathing in deeply. I am in control. One last deep breath in. And I have the power to soothe my emotions. Take a moment and sense or feel any tranquility in the space around you. Knowing that you are in a safe place here today to explore these emotions, to embrace this moment of grounding and calm as we prepare to delve deeper into our practice. We'll take in one more deep, nourishing breath in and out. We'll take a moment to offer ourselves a little bit of gratitude that we took time out of our busy day to slow things down and to meet ourselves in mindfulness. And then as you're ready, start to add some gentle movement, maybe wiggling fingers and toes, and then gently open your eyes as we bring our awareness back into our space, carrying this sense of peace with us into our practice, no matter what emotions might show up. All righty, let's go ahead and bring our hands to heart center. Get a little prayer pose, and then drop our chin down towards our chest, feeling a nice stretch through the back of the neck. And then with an inhale, lifting the nose as high in the air as feels good, feeling a stretch through the front of the neck. And then feel free to take any movement with the neck. You can take it in circles or half circles. There's this particular spot that feels a little tender. You can hold it there. We'll take just about 3 breaths, exploring the movement through our neck. Beautiful job. Let's go ahead and drop our hands down towards our knees. And if you're seated in the chair, go ahead and scoot up to the edge of the chair if you haven't already, giving yourself a little space for your body. And then let's start to take some torso circles, going in one direction a couple of times, pulling the heart forward and then back, around and around, letting your elbows and your shoulders get into it. And then let's go ahead and reverse those. Beautiful job. Now, if you've taken a crisscross applesauce with your legs, go ahead and switch them up so that there's the other cross just to balance things out. And if you have any other foot placement or leg placement, go ahead and leave it where you're at. We're going to go ahead and start to take a little bit of a side bend flow next. So we'll start by bringing our right hand down by our right hip, either to the floor, maybe a prop, or even the chair. We'll start to send our left hand out to the side. Wiggle the fingers, stretch them out. If it feels okay in your body, maybe see what it feels like to take that extended arm alongside the left ear. Really stretch and reach that arm, feeling the rib cages expanding. Then next exhale, drop that top arm towards your right knee. So left hand to opposite knee. And then we're going to lift our right hand from the chair, floor, or prop and start to send it up and overhead, taking our side bend into a counter stretch and using our left hand as a brace against the lean. Beautiful job. Go ahead and take your gaze down towards that left knee and then let the right hand follow. Now your arms are in a crisscross applesauce. Tuck your chin in between your arms towards your torso. Seated egg beater. Beautiful job. We're going to release both hands, circle arms up and overhead in a big gesture. Exhale, circle hands down by your hips, either on the chair or the floor. Take a gentle back bend, lifting chin. Pressing hands into the floor or chair. Great job. Let's take that sequence on the other side. The left hand comes down by hand, floor or hip. We start to send that right arm up and over, out to the side, or even over alongside the right ear. Feel that lengthening, that stretch through our torso. Exhale, gaze comes down to left knee, right hand follows. Use that to anchor as you lift that left hand up and over. Counter side bend. Exhale to drop left hand to right knee, seated egg beater, chin to chest. Inhale, swoop those arms up and overhead. Exhale, seated back bend, hands behind hips, lifting heart, lifting chin, rolling shoulder blades towards each other. Great job. Exhale to release. Alrighty, from here, we're going to come into a tabletop. So if we're taking the chair poses, we might want to take our tabletop into the seat or even the tall part of our chair, lining up shoulders and wrists, knees, ankles, and hips. And if we're taking it on the floor, we're on our hands and knees on all fours, spreading through those fingertips, really noticing as the spine lengthens from hips to the top of our head. And then to a count of 4, let's take a gentle cat-cow. Inhaling for 4, taking your time as you find that cow pose. And then taking a 4 count to transition to your cat pose. Take about 3 breaths to that 4 count. Last one. And then go ahead and find a little bit of stillness. Straighten the spine out long and take some barrel rolls going in one direction. So similar to cat-cow, but instead of directly up and down, we take our rib cage out to the side in between. Beautiful job. Let's reverse those barrel rolls. Take them in the opposite direction. Go ahead and find that stillness. And we're going to sink into a child's pose or a standing child's pose. For a standing child's pose, you keep your hands just where they are. Go ahead and widen your feet just a little bit so your toes point out. And then bend into the forward fold position. You can even bend your knees a little and begin to sink your forehead in between your arms. So you're feeling a lot of the similar feelings to a traditional child's pose. You're pressing your hands into a surface. You're feeling the length along the rib cage, maybe a little through the shoulders and the back of the neck. Knees are wide, hips are open. Big, beautiful breath. And then let's go ahead and walk both hands over to the right side of our space, either on the chair or the floor. Take it into a little side bend. And then walk your hands through center to the left side of your space. Beautiful job. Go ahead and bring your hands back through center. And we'll find ourselves moving into our first downward dog of today. You're on your chair. You're walking your hips back, letting your hands still find that shoulder distance apart, head dangling in between. And you're always welcome to move up to the back or to a wall as well. Or maybe take your downward dog from the floor orientation. But wherever you're at, take just a few moments to pedal through the legs, shifting the hips a little left to right. And then look back towards your feet and start to walk your hands back towards your feet as we come into a forward fold. Your hands can rest on any prop of your choice, your legs, the floor, anywhere in between. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll it all up to tall mountain, reaching, stretching. Great job. You're going to pause here, either keeping the hands together or maybe dropping right hand to hip or a prop. We're going to lean to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. This time we're going to twist to the right, but we're going to let the arms float down like a petal opening. Inhale through center. Twist it to the left, opening those arms. Letting them float down and then back up. Feel that length and extension in tall mountain. Exhale, hinge and forward fold. Alrighty, from our forward fold position, we're going to step back into a plank or a half plank. If you're on the chair or wall, bring your hands under your shoulders. Step it back so that you're putting on just enough weight into your arms that you're loading that wrist joint. But keep your spine straight no matter where you're at. And if you're on the mat, those knees can be lifted and toes tucked, or toes down and knees, or toes up and knees down. But we're still keeping a straight spine. We're still engaging through our core. Beautiful job. One last breath here. Exhale, lower to the mat or walk yourself towards your chair or wall. We're going to come into a cobra or sphinx pose of our choice. So hands can stay on the surface or you can bring your elbows. Start to lift your gaze. Find a little or a lot of a back bend that feels good in your body. It feels better to take dynamic stretches. You can lower your forehead down and then inhale to lift it back up as feels good. We'll take one more breath in our cobra. Exhale to release. Inhale, step it to plank or half plank. You're doing great. One breath here. We're building our core strength. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful sun salutation. Start to walk your hands back towards your legs, forward fold. Go ahead and pause there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. This time we're going to take a little bit of a ragdoll. So maybe you grab opposite elbows. Maybe you start to sway from side to side. You can lift heels or lift toes. You can shake your head in different directions or even move your jaw. Great job. Go ahead and find a little bit of stillness. Bend the knees deeply, sink the hips, slow roll up to tall mountain. Our next exhale, let's finish our sun salutation by bringing our hands back towards our hips, maybe interlacing fingers, grabbing opposite wrist, opposite elbows, maybe grabbing a strap in between the arms, or maybe grabbing onto our shirt. We're feeling a little bit of heart opening as we roll those shoulder blades back. Go ahead and move your feet just a little bit wider than hip distance, maybe about mat distance apart, just to really feel some stability here. And then go ahead and look over towards your right shoulder, noticing that stretch to the left side of the neck. And next, inhale, release your arms like a wave, reach up, look forward. Exhale, swim the hands back, take the funny grip, look to the left. Release like a wave, bring it up and overhead. From here, we're going to start to bend into the knees, sink into the hips, coming into a chair pose, but then allow your hands to come back in airplane arms. Great job. Inhale, come up. We're going to combine a few of those moves together. Exhale, spine at the back. Lengthen spine. Look through the right. So exhale, we release the bind. Take the arms up and overhead. Swing them back into our chair airplane. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, awkward bind. Look to the left. Inhale, wave the arms up. Exhale, chair airplane. Beautiful job. Go ahead and take one last breath here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Figure 7, gaze stays down, core is engaged. And then let's bring our right hand directly under our face on the prop, on the floor, and then start to bend the right knee. And like an archer pulling a bow and arrow, bring that left hand towards the ceiling. Exhale to release. Switching left hand with right, we pull the bow and arrow with our right arm this time. Left knee bends. Beautiful job. From here, we'll find our way to our next downward facing dog. We'll inhale to lift our right toes, three-legged dog. And then with an exhale, step it through to a warrior one, bringing the right leg in between the hands or by your prop. And then the back toes go to the side, heel to the back. Turn the hips forward, bend into that front knee. And when you're ready, open the arms up and overhead. Squeezing those thighs. You're doing a beautiful job. Our next exhale opens us to a warrior 1 or 2. The hips turn to the side, the arms go wide. The back foot parallel to the back of your mat. Now, what do we do with crazy, scary emotions? We grow a little bit of strength. So let's make some muscles here, flexing the arms. Great job. Send those arms out. Straighten that front leg, reverse your warrior. Straight front leg. Exhale to bring your arms back to a T. We're going to take it into a triangle as we pull those front fingertips forward and then start to hinge. Hand comes to leg or a prop. And we stack wrists and shoulders in a straight line. Inhale to bring it back through center, straight spine. And then go ahead and take that front foot, turning it to the side. Now in our side wide-legged pose, I'm going to bring the heels both in. We're going to start to bend through our knees. We're going to take a gorilla pose for this first side. So our options are to bring our hands to our knees, maybe to bring a strap under our feet, holding onto the strap on each side, or if it's available, start to reach down under the thighs to the ankles, or maybe even bringing your palms and hands under your feet and letting your palm in the bottom of your feet rest. We're pulling our elbows out to the side no matter where we're at. We're rounding chin to chest. We're feeling an opening and a spreading through the shoulder blades, maybe the lower back in our gorilla pose. Great job. Inhale, roll it up to five-pointed star. Great job. With our next exhale, we're going to pinwheel the arms down towards the floor or towards the wall if we're doing wall or chair. And we're going to find our plank pose. So getting there however feels good for us. One breath here. With an exhale, sigh it out. Take it to your downward dog. Beautiful job. All righty, who's ready for side two? Inhale, lift left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through, warrior one. Take your time, build your foundation from the ground up. Squeeze those thighs, engage your core, you're doing great. Beautiful flow today. Exhale, open it into warrior two. You're doing great, you're crushing it. Inhale, flex those muscles. Inhale, send it long. Straighten that front leg, reverse your warrior. Inhale to straighten it out. Pull that front fingertips forward. Exhale, triangle pose. Feel like you're pulling this hip towards the wall behind you. Inhale to bring it back up. Exhale, flow to your plank or your half plank. Great job. Exhale. Go ahead and bring yourself into your downward facing dog. Oh my goodness, we totally skipped second side. So we'll go from our downward dog to wide-legged side straddle or starfish or five-pointed star. To the other side if you want, or you can still face me if you prefer. Sorry, I skipped that. Go ahead and drop those hands down to your hips. Just like before, we'll bring our heels in, then our toes, then our heels one more time. So we're not as wide as we were before, but we're still a little wider than mat distance. We're going to go start to bend into our knees. All right, so this next sequence of moves is going to be very similar to what we did on the ground. So we'll start with our when we started class today. So we'll start with our right hand either on our hip or our knee. It's up to you. Start to send your left hand up to the side or overhead. Again, it's up to you what feels best. Exhale, take your gaze down to the right knee. Drop that left hand to hip or to knee. Inhale, left hand up and over. Exhale, drop that right hand to left hip or knee. Curl chin to chest. Inhale, explode it out, 5-pointed star. Beautiful job. Exhale, hands by the hips, taking your bind. Heart lifts, chin lifts. Great job. Release, bend the knees, left hand, hip or knee, right hand up and over. Exhale, drop it. Inhale, left hand up and over, counter stretch. Exhale, drop it, egg beater, chin to chest. Inhale, bring it up overhead. Exhale, last funky bind behind the back. Great job. Exhale to release. Beautiful job. Bring it back into your mountain pose. We'll take one last airplane chair, bending the knees, sinking into the hips, taking those hands back behind us. You're always welcome to have one on a prop for support. And then let's play with just a little bit of a balance here, lifting one heel and then the other. And if you're really into working with those scary emotions, maybe lift both heels. Try not to tip forward. You're doing great. Exhale forward. Go ahead and bring it on down to your chair or to your floor. Beautiful job. All righty. Let's come into a tabletop on the floor. If you're seated in the chair, seated mountain will be your game. And we're going to come into a low lunge on the right side, bringing that right leg forward, sinking that left hip back. And if you're taking our chair poses from your seated mountain, you'll just support your right thigh and start to send your left leg back behind you. Tucking the toes or not, depending on what feels better for your body. You can keep your hands on the floor or on a prop on either side of the knee. You can bring them up to the knee. You can start to rest them on another prop, or even lift your arms up and overhead. Try to stack spine over hips. Great job. And then let's drop our right hand either to the floor, to our chair, or to a prop by our right hip and take it into a side bend over to the right. Really feeling that length along our entire left body. Great job. Bring it back through center. We're going to take it into a half runner's lunge. So if you're in the chair, you can bring that back leg a little in, scoot forward, start to send that front leg out long, and then begin to hinge over that front leg. If you're taking this from the ground, you'll also straighten that front leg, maybe peel the toes off, bringing them back towards the shin, straighten through that front leg as much as feels good through your body, and then start to hinge also over that front leg. Great job. Let's exhale to release. Let's come through to the other side, left side. Either pulse forward or supported by the chair. We sink into our low lunge. And then maybe, as we're feeling comfortable, rising up to a crescent lunge. Feeling our breath here. You're doing great. One more breath. Exhale, left hand comes down by left hip, floor, prop, or chair. Side bend it over. Inhale to bring it back through center. Half runner's lunge. Lengthening the spine, straightening through that front leg, maybe peeling the toes back and hinging over that front leg. Now, if you notice it strongly in the bend of the knee, feel free to add a gentle bend, and that should move it into the meat of the muscle. Beautiful job. Alrighty, let's roll through center and come onto both knees. Standing on your knees if you're on the floor, staying in your seated mountain on the chair. We're going to take one last back bend. If you like to bring props by your feet, you're welcome to do so. Or you can bring your hands by your hips or onto the chair by your hips. We'll start to lift our heart, lift our gaze, roll our shoulder blades back. You can either keep your hands right where they're at. You could lift them overhead, or you could drop them down to the prop of your choice. But no matter where you're at, you're pulling your hips forward, rolling your shoulder blades back, feeling that heart opening, letting yourself be vulnerable. Exhale to release, bringing hands back towards hips from wherever they're at, coming back to a straight spine. Great job. All righty. We're on the mat. If you use a prop, bring it behind you. We're going to keep ourselves in a hero's pose, but we're going to take it into a half hero's. So we'll leave our right leg bent, sitting on our heel or on a prop, and then take your opposite leg and extend it long. In the chair, you're going to scoot over so that right foot can go back behind you, and you'll keep that leg in front of you, just like you always do in half heroes. So either way, we're in our half heroes. And you can either stay with your straight spine, or if you might want to feel what it could feel like to explore hinging your heart a little closer to your extended leg. Great job. Roll it back up to a straight spine if you took the option to hinge forward. And then let's switch sides. Right leg goes long. Left leg goes back. Tucking the hip, heel back by your hip in whatever way feels good for your half heroes. Sitting up tall, engaging through the spine, or maybe choosing to hinge forward, bringing your forehead a little closer to that right extended knee. Great job. Go ahead and release out of that. And we'll find ourselves coming into a reclined position, either onto the floor in a constructive rest, or maybe taking a few rock and rolls in a ball. And if you're seated in the chair, maybe you bring a pillow behind you. You don't have to, though. We're going to keep our hips forward and start to bring our shoulders back, no matter where we're at. So we're all reclined, whether we're on the floor or in the chair. All right, go ahead and bring your feet to the floor if you took a ball position, bringing feet about hip distance apart. And then let's start to hug that right knee in towards the torso. Give it a nice little compression at your hips, and then take a few rolls with the ankle, and then reverse them. Point and flex the feet a few times. And then let's take a reclined figure four, coming with that right ankle over towards that left knee and letting that right knee fall open to the side. Now, if you are on the floor, you can keep that bent knee right where it is. Another option would be to send it long and open up through your hip flexors. This can be a really nice stretch. Or if you'd like to add a little compression, maybe lifting that left foot off the floor and threading your arms around your shin or your thigh and drawing your heart a little closer to your shin. Beautiful job. Alrighty, if that left foot is lifted, go ahead and bring it back into your constructive rest. And then let's grab somewhere, anywhere on that right knee. It could be knee, ankle, foot. You can grab your strap, but start to draw your heel towards your hip, coming into a half frog pose. Let that knee open out to the side. And hold the foot towards your hip. Beautiful opening. And then from there, let's come into a half happy baby on this side, letting a 90-ish degree bend come into the ankle and the knee, drawing the knee towards the rib cage. Foot is flat either towards the ceiling or towards the wall, like in front of you if you're in a chair. Great job. Exhale to release. Both feet flat on the floor. And then we'll take this sequence, side two. Inhale, compression of the knee in towards the torso. Take some ankle rolls. And then reverse them. Point and flex just a couple of times. Exhale, recline figure four. Feel your breath here. You're doing great. From our figure four, we'll find our foot or ankle for half frog. Drawing that foot towards our hip, keeping that knee falling out to the side, but it's just a little bit deeper. Great job. Exhale, happy baby, or half happy baby. Exhale to release, both feet constructive rest. And then take a gentle windshield wiper of the knees, letting them fall left to right. The next time the knees are to the right, pause. And if you'd like to take a bind, cross the ankles, cross the knees, add any pillows or props, you're welcome to do so. We'll start to relax into our twist, letting our shoulders reach towards the floor or the chair, relaxing the head, the neck, the shoulders. Last breath on this side. Exhale to release. Walk the feet to the other side. Taking your time to set up on this side. Crossing at knees or ankles or not at all. Adding pillows, blankets, or blocks. Just relaxing the shoulders. Starting to settle the breath a little bit more with each deep inhale and each slow exhale. Great job. Go ahead and bring those knees back through center. We're going to close today's practice with an option of an inclined or reclined position of legs up the wall. So an option to use a block or a pillow under the hips, coming into bridge pose, sliding that prop of your choice under the hips, and then taking the feet up towards the ceiling. If you want to use the actual wall, maybe skipping the prop under the lower back, bringing the hips as close or as far from something that's taller than your hips. Any piece of furniture will do. You can even have the knees bent. And if you're seated in the chair, you can still do this pose. We just want to get those feet a little higher than our heart. If you have a couch nearby, you could lay on the couch and bring your feet to the back or to the arms. Or if you can put yourself up against a piece of furniture so those feet are just a little bit higher than your heart. That is a great option as well. And here again, knees can be bent. You don't have to have that straight leg variation. Take a moment to settle in here. Maybe you want to add some pillows or some blocks or some blankets. You're welcome to do so. And as we settle in here, this could either be the final pose of our practice, or you could take it into your final resting pose for our practice. So you are welcome to stay here for the duration of our practice. It's such a great pose, letting the blood move throughout our body, circulating, changing our perspective maybe just a little bit, helping us see that those scary emotions might not be so scary after all. They're just visitors passing through like a cloud. If you're choosing to stay in your legs up the wall variation, again, you can add more props if you'd like, or pillows, maybe a weight for the eyes or a weight for the tummy. And if you'd rather take any other option for our final resting pose, you are welcome to come down and maybe come into a corpse pose or constructive rest, or really any option that feels like rest for you. As you start to settle in, I invite you to close your eyes and begin to find a comfortable position. Maybe you gently close your eyes if that feels right. Maybe you begin to soften the muscles of your face, letting your breath settle into its natural rhythm. Begin to allow your hands to relax. And take a few more deep, nourishing breaths. Feeling yourself settle into this present moment. Feel yourself arriving so fully here as you let the body and mind unwind from today's practice. Now bring your attention to where your body meets the earth beneath you. Feel the ground supporting you, holding you exactly as you are. And imagine yourself sinking deeper into that support with every exhale, as if the earth is whispering, I've got you. Breathe deeply into your abdomen, expanding it with your inhale and slowly releasing with your exhale. And allow this steady rhythm to remind you that you are safe here and held in this moment. First, let's acknowledge that scary emotions are a natural part of the human experience. Fear, anxiety, and anger, they arise to protect us, to alert us to potential dangers even. But sometimes these emotions can become overwhelming or disruptive. Recognizing that it's okay to feel these emotions, they are valid and worthy of your attention. Now imagine holding these emotions in your hands. Picture them as a small, trembling creature of your choice. They might look like scared animals, huddled and unsure. But as you hold them, feel the warmth and comfort of your hands. And know that you have the strength and compassion to soothe these emotions. Now take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, imagine sending calm, soothing energy to these scared creatures in your hands. Feel them beginning to relax, their tremble subsiding. Breathe in peace and exhale comfort. Letting each breath bring more tranquility to your emotions. As you rest here, maybe gently invite yourself to notice if any difficult emotions are present. Fear, anxiety, sadness, or even overwhelm. There's no need to fix anything. Simply notice. And if a particular emotion comes up, imagine giving it space, as if you were inviting it to sit beside you. There's room for all of you here. What does this emotion feel like in your body? Does it have a shape, color, or even a texture? Or maybe you simply name it: fear, worry, or sadness, without judgment. Because it's important not to judge these emotions. They are not good or bad. They simply are. See if you can let go of any frustration or guilt for feeling them, and instead offer them understanding and kindness. And remember, by acknowledging and accepting our emotions, we take the first step in taming them. And then with each breath, offer this emotion a sense of kindness, just as you would comfort that scared animal. Whisper silently to yourself, it's okay to feel this way. You are allowed to be here. You were safe in this moment. I am strong. and capable of facing my fears. I have the power to tame my emotions with kindness. Now notice how the emotion shifts or even softens as you acknowledge it, knowing that all emotions, especially the scary ones, are like visitors. They come, they stay for a while, and eventually they move on. Now begin to imagine that emotion in your body transforming, picturing it as a gentle wave, ebbing and flowing. As you breathe in, the wave rises, and as you exhale, the wave releases, dissolving softly into the sandy shore. If that feels challenging, maybe imagine wrapping the emotion in a soft blanket, cradling it gently in your heart, reminding it, you are safe with me. With each breath, the emotion grows smaller. And as you grow bigger, expanding into the quiet strength that already lives within you, continue to breathe deeply. Feel the sense of peace if you allow it to wash over you. Knowing that you have the tools within you to face and tame any of your scary emotions. We can embrace this inner strength and carry it with us beyond our practice. Now let's take a moment to allow ourselves to feel a little gratitude for the courage you've shown today, for taking the time to care for your emotional well-being. Maybe even thank yourself for your practice and for the journey you are on. We'll take a few deeper breaths, inviting a sense of peace and calm into your body. Feel how the breath brings you back into balance. There's no need to rush, as everything will unfold in its own time. May you carry the peace of this moment with you, knowing that you have the strength to meet even the scariest emotions with softness and grace. We'll take the deepest breath of our day so far. Inhaling gratitude for yourself and for your practice. And exhaling any last remaining tension. When you're ready, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing gentle movement back into your body. Maybe blink your eyes open, and in your own time, in your own way, gently transition back to a comfortable seated position facing. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time. Thank you.